Well, hello there, and welcome to this 7-day Facebook Ads program webinar. And the topic here is on getting noticed and getting response on Facebook. So this is the first webinar I've done using Facebook or YouTube Live. So I hope this will work. So I'm going to go through this and present the topics here, and if you want to ask questions along the way, you can type questions into the comments. Hopefully that's available to you if you see that on the side of the YouTube video. So let's talk about this then, getting noticed and getting response on Facebook. So basically for most of this I have ad examples. And these are ads that I went through earlier today, and I noticed that they were ads, and then I thought, well, I might have something to say about these. So this is one here. It says, "Get my best-selling book for free. .com secrets, get your free copy." So notice that they have a learn more button there, so a call to action. So buttons are always good. What they're offering is a free book. At least it looks like a free book there. Probably what this is, it could be a physical, sometimes it's an ebook, electronic book that you download, a PDF file. But this could be a book that they mail to you and they just charge you for shipping. So it might still cost you $8 or $9 to get the book, but they're charging, because you're paying for shipping. So basically this is a lead generator because they would have many more upsells. But if you look at this ad, it looks like it's pretty, it can catch your attention, and it can be compelling because it says, "Get my best-selling book for free." And you've got a nice big headline there under the picture. And the picture, well, it's got some text on it, which may be limited a little bit by Facebook, because if you have text on images, that slows down your exposure a little bit on Facebook. That's what they say. So anyway, you notice at the bottom too where they got 108 comments and 205 shares, which is quite a lot. But we don't know how much money they've put into this. Maybe he's put thousands of dollars into this ad and it's generated that over time. So just because there's a lot of comments and shares doesn't mean the ad is doing it all. But it probably is a good ad if he's putting money behind it. All right, let's look at another one. Comment on this one, and we always know it's an ad because it says sponsored towards the top left. This ad is, the purpose of this is to get likes on the page, because you see that like page button. And you can't click on the ad and go to a website or anything. So the sole purpose really of this ad is to get likes. One thing about this ad is that first, in the picture, the first word, the top line, is reversed, which is sort of clever, but I think it hurts the ad, because when you're scrolling through Facebook quickly and you see that, you can't really make it out really quick what that is. And in fact, it took me a while before I looked at the next line, which is global warming. It's possible. So I didn't even look at the second and third lines. I was kind of trying to figure out what's that first line, and I didn't figure it out right away, at a glance. And So I don't think this is the greatest ad, but you know, it's just another example. I don't know how successful this ad is. All right, and here we have another one. This image doesn't have any text on it. Notice also that there's no big headline underneath the image. The text size, or the font size, is about the same as all the rest of the text. And this again is simply an ad to get more likes. So why would I like this ad, or why would you like this thing? I have no reason at all to like this. Maybe if I liked the idea of an island with you know, like the picture shows there, I might like it, but I don't think that would be a very valuable like for them. I mean, then, you know, because that doesn't really mean anything when you just like it because you like the picture. So here's an ad. Notice how the image is just on the left. It doesn't go all the way across the width of the ad. But the heading, which is right to the right of the picture where it says 80/20 book for 1 cent, the font is bigger, the text size is bigger there. And that's what you get when you have an ad that's clickable to a web page or a blog post. So that's what they call a link ad. And notice there's a lot of text here. So a lot of people think, well, what, you know, a lot of people think you shouldn't put all that text in there because no one's going to ever read it. Well, if someone is interested in reading it, they'll read it. And if they're not, they'll just look at the picture and they'll look at the headline and they'll still maybe get something out of it. So it's not a bad thing to put a lot of text in there. Now here again, there's a book offer for 1 penny, but shipping and handling is $8 or $9. So it isn't just going to cost you a penny to get the physical book. And I have this book, so I know, and it's a good book, and it's worth $15 or $20 or more. I mean, it's got really good information in it, but it's a paperback book. But you can get it for $8 or $9. But then what happens is you are on a list, or if you click over to the website to get the book, then you will see more ads from Perry Marshall. Okay, so, but this ad I've seen a lot, so I know this ad is probably doing well. So it's an example of a good ad. Okay, and I don't know anything about this guy, and I've only saw this one time, first time today. I don't know how well this ad is doing, but here again, notice the text underneath the image. It's the text size is larger, which I think, you know, is nice. And you, like I said, you only get that if you're linking to a website outside of Facebook. And if you click on that, you would go to that localmarketingvault.com, which way on the bottom it says the website name. So the content of this, smartest marketing strategy of 2017. So they're using some curiosity there. So what is he talking about? You know, people might be thinking, what is he talking about? And they might be curious enough to click on that. And then they might read the text above because of the headline. And then they might be interested. So that's probably not a bad ad. I don't know. It's kind of a dull looking image, but it does have one main simple message there at the top: smartest marketing strategy. All right, actually this is my ad, and this actually was taken from the sidebar, so it's blown up bigger than it normally appears. It's showing a lot on the side of Facebook, the right column, which only shows on the desktop. So, and I'm just running this to do a test about to see how many people I can reach. So I'm not really doing this ad to try to accomplish any goal other than just kind of testing it to see how many people I can reach compared to another ad I'm running that has some different parameters on it. So anyway, but it does give me some branding, database systems, web design, and then I talk about our seminar, and it's a picture of our seminar. Let me see what else we got. We got another example here. Here's an example of another ad. Notice the button on the top for like page, but there's not a button on the bottom. But this is another one of those link ads because we see the website name on the bottom, thrivethemes.com, and then we see the big headline. So you always get that big headline with the when you link to a website off of Facebook. And this is offering a free mini course, which is very common these days. As far as the image goes, it's kind of, well, if it's different, it might catch attention. Other than that, I don't really know what the image means. It doesn't, I don't know that it is relevant to Thrive themes or what they're saying in the text. It doesn't really seem to be relevant to anything. So I don't think it's the greatest image, but I think they probably could do with a better image. Now, here's kind of the opposite with this image. It's a photograph, looks like a professionally taken photograph because you've got the blurry background and the clear foreground of the people. These people look like they're models, and it looks like this is a stock photograph, and it looks like it's staged, which generally I don't think is very good, but it's probably more interesting than this photo. But this ad here is advertising Prezi, and they say present like a TED Talk, don't use PowerPoint, get started for free, try Prezi free for 14 days. I think that'd be a better headline than the big text to say try Prezi free for 14 days. But I'm sure they could test that and see what works better. And then the learn more button, which is a good call to action button. But I don't know, I'd like to know how successful this ad really is, because I don't think it would be that great. It looks professional, but just because it looks professional doesn't mean it will work. So anyway, this is the last slide of my little webinar here. And the goal of this was to cover how to get noticed and how to get response. So you've kind of got two stages here. The first thing is to get noticed, because people are scrolling fast through Facebook, so you need to stop them. You need to get noticed. And so how do you do that? Catch attention with a noticeable image and headline. So it's tricky, and you need to test. You need to test different things because you just never know what will work better. And then once you catch attention, the second stage is to get response. So get them to do something. What do you want them to do? Do you want them to click a button? Do you want them to go over to your website and order something? Or maybe you just want to get them to click over to your website so that you can track them and show ads to them later. That's you can do with Facebook ads. So get response. How do you get response? With compelling content and or a compelling offer. So you got to give them a really good reason to do something, to click or to read or maybe even to watch a video. If you can get them to spend a little more time watching your video, if it's compelling enough, interesting enough, then you can even create a custom audience to show ads to people who have watched your video for more than a certain amount of time. And that sounds sophisticated, and it is, but it's pretty easy to set up. So anyway, so let's go back here. I'm going to flip back over to this and see if I've got any more questions or anything, and I don't think I do, so I'm going to wrap this up. And this will conclude this little webinar here. And this is part of the 7-day Facebook Ads Program webinar that we are going through. And let's see. This is really an important piece of it. And if anybody watches this webinar after it's recorded and you still want to ask me questions, please feel free to do that. And we'll be working on this more in the future and using feedback to make improvements. And we want to end up or get you in a place where you're successful with using Facebook ads. All right, thanks for watching.